Hey everyone, and welcome to Already Cancelled. I am Peter. Joining me as always is Tara, and we are going to talk about the Twilight Zone Season 2, Episode 9. It's called The Trouble with Templeton. So, full spoilers for the episode, as always. And once again, we're going to start not talking about the episode itself, but about the quality of the visual quality. Because we spent so much time last episode talking about the downgrade because it was shot on tape. Not much to say in this one. Don't worry, we're not going to talk about it too much. Just to say that I expected all 6 of the videotape episodes in a row, and that's not the case. They were shot in a row, but because they aired them in this order, they're not actually in order. So this episode's actually shot in film again, so it looks good, it looks fine, it looks like
it looks good.
Looks like the other episodes. It does mean though that now I'm going to be on edge. Like until we've had all 6 of the bad looking episodes, I'm going to be like, oh, is the next one going to be one of them? Is the next one going to be one of them? Is it going to look like shit?
Yeah.
So
I imagine they were probably all pretty close to each other. Like maybe they just didn't air them in order that they shot them.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't really matter that they aired them in a different order they shot them because it's an anthology. So I mean, who cares? But. This is literally the only time it'll matter because I'm on edge now. Like, is the next one going to look like crap, or is it going to look like good, like most of the episodes? So, we'll keep you apprised of the situation as we continue. So this episode's about an actor, an aging actor who's getting old now. He's married a younger woman, but he's reminiscing. He's got his first day of rehearsals on a new play, and he's kind of reminiscing about his old wife who died years ago. He's feeling very down in the dumps. He goes in for this new audition. He's worried that he doesn't have it anymore. He's not remembering his lines. The new hotshot, actors and the director are kind of like, edging him on, and he's wanting to get in there. And he kind of does. It kind of reminded me a little bit of that early episode, Walking Distance, where he kind of goes into a past part of his life. So I mean, it's a little bit different in the sense that instead of going to himself when he was a kid, it's more. He shows up in a previous part of his life, back when his wife was alive and he was at his peak of his acting career in the 1920s, and he basically he comes out of the theater and he's back in the 20s and he's like, oh I'm in 1927, and he goes to this old this hideout because this was during the Prohibition, and he goes to find his young wife is there, and he tries to he's mesmerized that he can see his wife again, and he's trying to talk to her. And of course, there's an ultimate lesson at the end, and kind of, when he eventually because at the end of the episode, he does come back to present day, and it kind of had a purpose, and it was kind of all about letting him actually sort of live his role, and it was like his past life and the memory of his loved ones was helping him be a good actor still, and so it was kind of about the dangers of nostalgia, but in a weird way, it was kind of like how the strength of the people that you've lost can still be with you as well. It was kind of a positive beat to it as well. By the end of the episode. How did you feel about this episode, Tara?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I like the performance. It's not exactly a new story. It's a lot like Walking Distance. It's a lot like a lot of the first season of reminiscing about older times. But I mean, it's still done in a new perspective of an actor. We've seen that before too, but yeah. Of an actor who is having a show put on for him instead.
Even an aging actor. I mean, episode 3 or 4, season 1 was the old woman.
16mm Shine.
Yeah. So we've even it does kind of feel like a mixture of 3 different episodes we've already had.
Yeah, it's that one, and the one actor who's he thinks his life is the character, which we were really positive on that one.
Yeah, that's the best of the 3, I think, for sure, out of these episodes. And this one, even though it's kind of different circumstances, is very much he ends up in his role kind of thing. I mean, we don't know that at first, but by the end that's kind of revealed, all the lines, because it feels like his wife's being kind of mean to him. It feels like his old friends are being mean to him, and at first it kind of feels like, oh, he doesn't fit in anymore because he's got old, and it has this kind of negative tangent to it. But I do have to critique the episode, one, because it does feel a little bit derivative of previous episodes. I don't think it's as enjoyable as those previous episodes. No, it doesn't have that edge to it. It's well enough paced, but it doesn't have kind of the spark to it. But my biggest critique of it though is that when he comes back at the end and he walks back through the door and he's back on the stage or the backstage of this place for rehearsals, and he looks at his script and he reads the lines, and it's the lines that the people in his life, his wife and his old best friend were saying to him, and he says out loud, "Oh, they were helping me, they weren't, like, they weren't being
They
mean
were
to me.
acting.
They were acting to help me with my lines so that I know what I'm doing, to keep me, to keep me on top of my game. The memory of these people were helping me. My critique of that is that, one, he's blatantly saying what the point of the episode is. But my bigger critique of it is not just that he's blatantly saying it, is that I feel like if he didn't say it, I don't think I would have gotten it. And I think that's an indictment of the episode.
Yeah, because I was a little confused too. There was a moment in it where he leaves and then the camera stays on all the people that he was around, and it fades to black, like the lights cut out. Everyone goes still and it's silent, and then the lights go out, like a play. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, wonder what that's all about. Yeah, and I agree. Like, if he didn't say it, I might not have made the connection either. But it's still pretty decent. I think the lead performer is really good in it. Well, everyone's pretty good in it, but to be honest, if he wasn't that strong of an actor, I don't know if it would have been an easy watch.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I think that's my biggest problem with it, is that the point of the episode, I don't even think I would have gotten if he hadn't spelled it out to me at the end. But the fact that...
Yeah, which is unfortunate, because you don't really want that.
Because
I was thinking that the message was going to be very different, because he's going back to this memory, and then the memory is turning on him a bit, like how we romanticize things.
Yeah, I was expecting the danger of nostalgia. Maybe the message would be that he has to be a new version of himself. He can't rely on the past. He has to be who he is now, kind of thing. And it wasn't quite that. It was more about how the strength of these people that you've left behind. Because I would argue that this one's less about nostalgia in a weird way, because it's more about the people that he's lost as opposed to just the time.
More about love lost.
Yeah.
It's not just his wife that he sees who's dead. He sees friends from the past too, who've been dead in a long time. Yeah,
so it's got like a positive, and I like because a lot of Twilight Zone episodes do have a kind of a negative sort of tone to them, because it's like this darker part of the human psyche. This is kind of got more of an uplifting thing by the end, where he's kind of regains who he is, and he's like, yeah, no, I'm still who I am, damn it, and I'm going to do this job. But because I sometimes I'll criticize an episode of this, or I'll criticize a movie or whatever, because they'll spell something out and I'll be mad, because I'm like, no, I got it. You're almost, you're making me
trust me to get it, to figure it out.
Like, you're making me almost annoyed because you don't trust me when I've clearly gotten what you've already said to me. It's almost cheapening it a little bit. This is even worse than that, because it's like, no, if you hadn't spelled it out, I wouldn't have got it, which tells me that you didn't actually do your job. The script didn't do its job or whatever to give it to me. So that's a bit of a complaint, but I do agree that it's actually very watchable because the cast are good, because it's relatively well directed. I think all the problems come from the script, because the script doesn't really get its point across without him just blatantly saying it to us. Like, here, this is what it was. But he regains his confidence. He insists that he be called Mr. Templeton, not just Templeton. Of course, the actor who's like yelling at him. The first day of rehearsals is the most important day in the life cycle of a play. Is a famous actor director, of course, Sidney Pollack.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Who, interesting, because you said, because you were watching this more or less the same time, but you were a little bit ahead, and you text me saying, "Oh, it's famous director in this." What's funny is that I actually have never seen any of the movies he's directed, but I have seen him, but I have seen him act in several things. I've seen him be in episodes of TV shows. I've seen him be in movies, so I know him more as an actor. But obviously, he has, he did Tootsie, did as a Condor. I've not seen these movies though.
Oh yeah, I've seen Tootsie. I really like Sabrina.
Can you tell this episode of Twilight Zone is not that interesting because we have tangented into talking about all the connections to other things?
I mean, it's not a bad episode at all. I don't think it's gonna make either of our lists of best or worst. I think it's gonna go pretty in the middle.
Yeah,
just because we've seen the story before.
It's perfectly fine. It doesn't add anything new to the story, which we say we've seen multiple times by this point. There's nothing to really kind of like really commend, and the acting's fine, the direction's fine, everything about it is fine. It is a typical. This is basically the sort of Twilight Zone episode that it feels like, okay, they had to fill out their episode order number, and this was one they just kind of churned out, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Except for the complaint I had there, because that is a genuine complaint, but with the spelling out the thing, because otherwise you wouldn't get it. But it's okay. It's perfectly watchable. Yeah. There you go. There you go. So anyway, Rod Serling did appear at the end of the episode to tell us about the next time. And I actually vaguely remember this premise. I don't really remember the episode that much, but I remember the premise, which is the camera that takes a photograph of the future, which sounds like a fun Twilight Zone premise.
I don't know this one. It's not ringing a bell. But it does sound like a fun one.
Yeah, I'm definitely game for
And
this.
it sounds like it's not going to be about nostalgia.
Yeah, so this is called A Most Unusual Camera. The description here. When three unintelligent crooks get a hold of a camera that takes pictures of the future, they set out to make a quick fortune with their new toy. That sounds like fun. Like if we get like three funny characters who are like bickering about what to do with their new camera that tells the future, I think this could be a really fun 25 minutes.
I have been really loving in this season how Rod Serling has been like introducing himself, where like the camera pans over and he's just been in the scene the whole time. I don't know. It's cute. I like the way that it's been going throughout the season.
I feel like his opening, like the spiel is getting later and later in the episode. Like it's because this one it felt like there was like a good 5 minutes of scene before Rod Serling finally walked in and started talking to us.
Yeah.
So
I think today he like did, or today this episode he did the submitted for your approval.
I liked at the end
when he's something, what people say when they are doing an impression of him.
Yeah, when he's doing the outro at the end, he does the today he got a round trip into the Twilight Zone. He did like a sort of, because he went and came back. I don't know. I like that little play on words.
Yeah.
I mean,
the episodes for season 2 have been there haven't been a lot of great ones. There have been a couple of great ones, I think.
I mean,
like
there's it's been a lot of okay to mediocre, and then there's been Eye of the Beholder. Right?
A couple of standouts though, but I mean, I think Serling has been peak.
What's the other stand? Oh, Nick of Time was pretty good. Okay, there's been two good episodes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, was this episode 9?
Yeah.
Oh shit! So we're 9 episodes in. There's only been really 2 good ones. I mean, there's been some okay ones, but that's not a great ratio so far this season.
No, we've had 2 that we really liked, and I think the rest have been like, I don't know, if we have to do another top 10.
Yeah.
Unless it improves, like we might struggle.
Yeah, it may end up being a top 5. But if you compare this to the first 9 episodes of season 1. And think about how many good episodes we had at that point.
Yeah, we were pretty positive for the beginning of season 1.
I think season 1, the first 9 episodes, there was like maybe 1 weak episode like out of 9. Whereas this season, it's like there's 2 good episodes out of 9. I mean, don't get me wrong. One of those is one of the best episodes of the entire show. So I mean, there's a curve.
I like the Captain Kirk one also.
That one's good.
That one was really good.
That one is really good. That is definitely the second best episode so far. But like, I mean, Eye of the Beholder's like, like everyone's got that in their all-time list.
Yeah.
Right. So. So yeah, I mean, hopefully, this next one's fun. It sounds fun. We know we've got a lot of great classic episodes still to go, so it's not like we're worried that it's all going to be just middling from here. But we're in a bit of a slump overall with season 2 so far, I think. So, all right. So we'll find out about the unusual camera next time. But this has been episode 9 of Twilight Zone season 2. Let us know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. You can like and subscribe, all that stuff. Get us on the Twitters at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the show, how can they do that, Tara?
You can check out our Patreon page. It's patreon.com/MildFuzzTV. Donating as little as $1 per month will get you a bunch of bonus episodes of other shows we do. So if you like sci-fi, you can check out our science fiction movie show, which is The Ace, the Atomic Cinema Experiment. And there's a back catalog of Transfer Saga films and Time Cop, Judge Dredd.
And this is the bonus
Mystery Science Theater worthy episodes.
Yeah, the back catalogue she's referred to as the bonus episodes on Patreon. The back catalogue of the regular podcast is bigger and has more interesting, or more important films, maybe is the best way to phrase it.
Films that you've probably seen.
Yes, films that you've heard of. But the bonus episodes that are exclusive to Patreon are the quirky little things that might be interesting that you've forgotten about.
Some gems in there too.
Yeah, and also Time Cop.
And also Time Cop.
Yeah.
That's a winner.
I feel like every so often we give the patrons like one really good one. That's like, hey, you really get your money's worth of this one. You get Time Cop. You get a 2-hour discussion on Time Cop. I love that we love Time Cop so much we talked about it for 2 hours.
Oh my god, I know, right?
I love it. I love that that's how much we care about Time Cop. Anyway, that's us. So thank you very much for watching or listening once again. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV, guys, in the Twilight Zone.